For all of your coin buying and selling needs, head over to onestopmut.com and use code EDGY for 10% off. What's up, guys? Edgy here bringing another video, and today we are back with the way too early record predictions and Madden 21 team previews. If you guys haven't watched any of this other series, there's other videos, there's a playlist. You can check the other ones out. I'm going over every single division. Basically just, like I said, way too early record predictions. So who I think is going to be the best team in the division, second best, so on. And then I'm kind of just giving a prediction for who I think is going to have like a breakout season for these teams. Or some players that'll be guys that, went to a different team and they might just kind of revitalize their career. So I'm starting off with who I think is going to be the top team in the division. I'm working my way down to the bottom. So in today's episode, we're doing the NFC North. The last episode was the AFC North. And before that, we did the AFC West and the NFC West. So make sure to check those other ones out. I am using Madden 20. I just downloaded like an updated roster that someone made. So all the ratings aren't 100% accurate for Madden 21 ratings. But I don't want to go into the beta and get in trouble for using, Madden 21 when it's the beta still, because you're not supposed to record it. But I'm going to go over each of these teams, kind of give you guys a breakdown of, who I think is going to break out, whatnot, stuff like that. But the team I think is going to win this division, I think it's going to be very close. Vikings and Packers normally are very, very close every year. I think the Vikings are going to win the division. I just think their defense is really good. Even though they don't really have very good corners, but other than that, they have a very good defense. Quarterback, they got Kirk Cousins. He's an above average starter. He's not elite, but he's solid. He's serviceable. They have Dalvin Cook, very, very good running back. Wide receiver, they did lose Stephon Diggs, traded him to the Bills. They still have Adam Thielen, Tajay Sharp they acquired, I believe, and Justin Jefferson. I think they drafted him in the second round. This guy is really good. Coming into the draft, there was some people were saying he was going to go in the first round. He did drop to the second round. But I think this guy's going to be very good. I don't know if he's going to produce at Stephon Diggs level his first year, with a new team, but I still think he's going to have a very good rookie year. Probably 800, maybe 900 yards, and probably like 6 to 8 touchdowns. I have him as their breakout player just because with Stephon Diggs gone, they need a number 2 target besides Adam Thielen. Kyle Rudolph's still a pretty good tight end, but he is getting older. Their offensive line is decent. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Defensively, their defensive line, they don't have Everson Griffin anymore. So, they got some young guys here. I don't know too much about them, but they did get Michael Pierce also. Very good defensive tackle. So, they have a solid defensive line. They still have Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks. I think both of these guys play, actually. I remember seeing both of these guys play for them last year. So they have a pretty good linebacking core. They don't have very good corners, but they did get a rookie here, Jeff Gladney, and Cameron Dantzler. I heard good things about Dantzler. I didn't really watch him play, but I've heard good things about him. So maybe they're just rolling with the young guys at corner. Harrison Smith, phenomenal safety. I think he plays strong safety in real life, and Anthony Harris plays free safety. Not sure what's up with that, but very good safety tandem. Dan Bailey at kicker. But yeah, I got the Vikings going 11-5, narrowly winning the division. But the only reason I'm giving that edge is just because for the Packers, they still didn't give Aaron Rodgers any new weapons. So I feel like it's going to be the same thing as last year. He's going to carry the team as far as he can. But if Devontae Adams is getting doubled, they don't really have anyone else who's going to, get separation consistently on one-on-one. So I'm going to head over to the next team, which is going to be the Packers. So like I said, I've got the Packers being very close to the Vikings. If Aaron Rodgers has a phenomenal season, is able to get production out of these, no-name wide receivers besides Devontae Adams, then they definitely can win the division. Their defense is a lot better than he's had in, years prior. He's still got quite a bit left in the tank, in my opinion. Running back like Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, they were very good last year. Aaron Jones had a crazy year. Very good fantasy running back also. You go over to wide receiver, they did add Devin Funchess, but he opted out of his contract due to COVID, so he's not going to be playing. So they still have Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Devontae Adams, and a lot of these guys last year, they were plug-and-play guys. Someone would get hurt, and they'd bring someone up from a practice squad or sign a free agent or something. So I don't know what they're going to do besides Devontae Adams in terms of weapons. Mercedes Lewis, I feel like he's more of a run blocker than a pass catcher. So that's going to be a little tough. They do still have one of the best left tackles in the league. Their offensive line is pretty good, besides Billy Turner, one of the worst Dolphins offensive linemen we've ever had. Still, somehow he's a starter again. Still not very good, though. Defensively, their D-line isn't crazy good besides Kenny Clark. The linebacking core is nice. They got some pass rushers. And for their breakout player, I've got Christian Kirksey. I know he's not super young. He's been in the league, it says 5 years here. But I think, just going to a different team. He had a couple down years with the Browns after like really starting off hot at the beginning of his career. I think he's going to kind of bounce back. He's going to have a big role for the Packers, and I think he's going to do very good for them. And then they have Preston Smith on the other side, another very good pass rusher. Corner, they have Jair Alexander, Kevin King, Josh Jackson. All three of these guys have been known to make plays. Jair Alexander, probably a top 15, maybe top 10 corner in the league. And he's young. He's only going to get better. Darnell Savage had a very good rookie season. He's fast. He flies around the field. And then strong safety got Adrian Amos, who's also just flies around the field. They have a lot of speed at safety. I think their secondary is going to be very, very good. And I've got them going 10-6. But like I said, if one of those receivers can, play above expectations, then I definitely could see them possibly beating out the Vikings for the division, because I think Aaron Rodgers, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the best in the league, always is. So yeah, I'm going to move on to the next team, which is going to be the Chicago Bears. All right, guys. So the Chicago Bears, I've got going 8-8. I think they're going to be a better team than they were last year. Even though I think the record was about the same. I think they won 6 games last year. I'm not positive. I don't think Trubisky's going to start. I think Nick Foles is going to start, and I think he's going to do a lot better than Trubisky. I don't think they're going to get like Eagles Nick Foles, like playoff Nick Foles, but I think he'll be a lot better than Trubisky. I don't think he's going to miss a lot of open throws. I think he'll, they'll get a little bit more production out of their wide receivers because of it. Tariq Cohen and David Montgomery have the same running backs as last year. I think Montgomery's going to have a better year this year. He had a lot of hype around him last year early on, and then he didn't really produce until probably like 6 or 7 games into the season. Tariq Cohen, the shifty guy, he's going to be the third down type guy catching out of the backfield. Wide receiver, Allen Robinson, one of the most underrated guys in the league. Definitely, minimum he's a top 15 wide receiver. You could argue top 10, but he's never really had a good quarterback to play with. I feel like if he had a good quarterback, he would be probably top 10 easily. Very good wide receiver. Ted Ginn Jr., Anthony Miller is one of those guys I feel like he's bound to break out eventually. I feel like he runs very good routes. And yeah, sky's the limit for him. They also have Riley Ridley. I forgot about him. Tight end, still got Jimmy Graham. They just got Jimmy Graham, but I don't see Jimmy Graham doing too much. Since he left the Saints, he hasn't been the same. Offensive line, it's pretty solid. Yeah, they're a solid offensive line. Defensively, Akeem Hicks, absolute monster, run stopper. Not the best pass rusher, but he gets the job done. Eddie Goldman, they got some run stuffers on the D-line, and then they got Khalil Mack. They traded a lot to get him, and he didn't produce quite as well as he did for the Raiders, but he's still an animal. And they give him some more help on defense, which I think they did. I think he's going to be very good. They still have 2 good middle linebackers, Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan. Robert Quinn on the other edge, I think, should help out Khalil Mack a lot. And then their breakout player, Jalen Johnson, they drafted him in the 2nd round. I think he's one of the best corners in this draft class. I think he's going to start. Buster Skrine's going to be the nickel guy, and he's going to play outside opposite of Kyle Fuller, and they're going to have a very good corner tandem. They did get Artie Burns also, but I think Jalen Johnson's going to beat him out for the starting spot and have a very good season at corner. And then they have Eddie Jackson, Tayshaun Gibson at safety. Very solid safety tandem also. But yeah, I got the Bears going 8-8. If Nick Foles plays how he did in the playoffs for the Eagles whenever they made that run, or the year he had 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, if he plays that caliber of football, they can win 9 or 10 games. Ultimately, though, I think he's going to have just a better season than Trubisky would. He's not going to have great numbers. He's not going to have bad numbers. He's going to be kind of middle of the pack, and they're going to win 8 games. Moving on to the next team, we're going to go to the Detroit Lions. So, Matthew Stafford, one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. I don't understand why people don't talk about this guy when they talk about top 10 quarterbacks. I feel like he's been good for a long time. He's just never had that great of a team around him. Like a lot of, great Lions players that have came to the league, Calvin, Barry. They've had a lot of really good players that just never got to reach their full potential because the team around them wasn't that good. Kerryon Johnson, I think he's a good running back. They did get DeAndre Swift also. That should be a nice running back tandem for him. Wide receiver, Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. They've been one of the better wide receiver tandems the last 2-3 years at least. Danny Amendola, still a good slot wide receiver, reliable, just has injury problems. Tight end, T.J. Hawkinson, pretty good rookie year. They also added Jesse James. Offensive line, not the greatest, but they do got some young guys, so maybe, they turn out to be better than... they have two guys. I wonder if these guys are brothers. I don't know too much about these dudes, but they have the same last name. Trey Flowers, very good pass rusher. Danny Shelton, good run stopper. Linebackers, they're all right. Jamie Collins, see how last time, I don't know how it'll work out for him, but last time he left the Patriots, he wasn't the same. So we'll see how he does with Detroit. He is going to have Patricia, who's the former defensive coordinator, so maybe he'll work out there. Corner. At first, I was thinking, Desmond Trufant. I think that's a downgrade from Darius Slay, but they also added Jeff Okudah, and they already have Justin Coleman, so I think they're going to have a very good corner group. I think Jeff Okudah is going to be their breakout player. I think he's going to be one of the best corners in the league pretty fast. His feet are incredible, some of the best I've ever seen. Safety, Deron Harmon, Tracy Walker. They're not the greatest, but they have very good corners, so hopefully they can make up for the safety play. And I've got the Lions going 6-10 for the sole reason, I feel like they just haven't really improved that much. I just feel like Matthew Stafford is going to, will his way to win a couple games. He's known for fourth quarter comebacks. A lot of the times the Lions will get down big early and he'll somehow pull it out in the fourth quarter. So I think just for Matt Stafford alone, they're going to win at least 6 games. But, injuries happen. Stuff like that happens. If one of the other teams in the division has a bad injury to a starting quarterback or, someone major, it can flip the script completely. And, any team can get hot. Like I say in every video I do this series, these are just my predictions. I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. So if I'm, saying your favorite team's going 6-10 or 4-12 or whatever, it's not personal. So you don't need to attack me in the comments. Just know that this is my opinion. These are my thoughts. I'm not going to be 100% accurate on all of them. There's no way that would happen. But that's going to conclude this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to smack that like button. Hit that sub button if you're new. Turn notifications on. As always, everyone have a great day. I'm out.